reading taken from the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 11 and 12. And God said, let the earth sprout vegetation, plant yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit, in which is their seed, each according to its kind, on earth. And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed, according to their own kinds, and trees bearing fruit, in which their seed, each according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. This was the word of God. Thanks be to God. Spontaneous prayer. God, our loving Father, who made heaven and earth and take care of every creature, we thank you for all the care and providence. Today, we ask you in a special way to bless our principal, Dr. Sister Maretta DiMello, who takes keen interest in the development of each one of us and well-being. We ask you to bless our resource person, Mrs. Sri Lakshmi Sravani, with your grace and mercy. We also pray for each one gathered here for this webinar. Give them good health of mind and body. May their families be blessed abundantly with your grace. Let each one of us continue to work in team for the success of this event. We ask this in precious name of our Lord Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, friends, for leading us in prayer. Now, I invite Radha ma'am to welcome the gatherings.
Welcome is a most pleasant task of inviting guests and dear ones for the event we organize. We welcome you to be a part of our proud Theresian family where every student is given equal opportunity. I extend a warm and cordial welcome to our resource person, Mrs. Sri Lakshmi Sravani, a proud alumna of our college, to the valedictory of National Nutrition Week celebrations in our college. Thank you, Mrs. Sravani, for accepting our invitation and being present to deliver the talk. A hearty welcome to our dear correspondent sister. My sincere and grateful welcome to our Principal Sister Dr. Sister Marietta Di Mello, the chairperson of the webinar, for the encouragement rendered in organizing this event. A warm welcome to Sister Vice Principal, Controller of Examination, and AO Sister to this seminar. With profound gratitude, we welcome the HODs, faculty of various departments to take part in this webinar. And lovely welcome to you, my dear friends, to attend the session without interruption. Welcome each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I invite Jyotipal ma'am to introduce the speaker.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Without taking much of your time, Sravani and all the audience, I would like to introduce Mrs. Sravani, Sri Lakshmi Sravani D. A warm welcome to our resource person, DSL Sravani. Your presence is an absolute delight for us, and we are happy to have you here amidst us. Hope it's like homecoming and a nostalgia make you more excited. I hope you like to join us. As many of us know, you are a proud alumna. Presently, Ms. Ravani is a doctoral candidate of Cornell University USA. She did her MS from Case Western Rivers University, and she did her master's from the University of Andhra University by getting a regional rank of second in PG set. She did her BSc from St. Teresa's College with group MBN in the year 2007-10. She was a bright student and talented personality. She, with her classical tone and melody, brought laurels to the institute at university, state, and national level. She led 400 students at Thalsainik camp, representing St. Teresa's at the national level as a NCC cadet. She held the position of student union president during her stay in this campus. She was an aspiring student, did her master's in nutrition and dietetics, and she served as a dietitian in prestigious hospitals in Hyderabad, and she was nutrition consultant for many hospitals too. As a student in Cornell University, she's a mentor for a SELP group, which is known as Spoken English Language Partners, under which she is taking up many activities, exchanging of culture in the campus, and she contributes for the write-ups in the magazine, and she's also a mentor for junior scholars in her department. Presently, she's about to complete her PhD thesis, and we wish you, Sravani, we wish you very best in your future endeavors and a smooth success in your doctoral degree. With this short note of introduction, I welcome you to address the gathering. There is much to say about Sravani, but because of the time being, I restrict myself to this. Welcome, Sravani.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That is indeed a very, very kind welcome and introduction. I'm really motivated and I feel the pressure now to actually perform up to the fact.
Well, we are
I
proud
hope
to
you can see
have
my
you.
screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Have you shared, Sravani?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sharing my screen now.
Okay.
Jyoti miss,
We are not.
you have to stop
Yeah.
presenting.
Yes, miss.
Ah,
Oh. Okay. Sorry,
okay,
Sravani.
okay.
All right. So is it okay now, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Go ahead. Thank you very much. And this is indeed a privilege to be back here, and definitely it feels like a homecoming to me. I think the screen is not sharing yet.
Yeah. Yes.
Girls,
How about now, ma'am?
Mute yourself, all of you.
Sravani, your screen is visible.
Yeah, that's great.
Sravani, your screen is visible. Students, kindly mute yourselves.
Yeah. One minute.
Mute your
1 minute.
mobiles.
Vani,
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, Sravani. Yeah, you continue, please.
That is totally fine. These glitches are always there since we have been online for like 1.5 years. We're used to it now.
Yeah, thank you. You
And,
understand.
I'm so glad you're conducting this despite the pandemic, and I think it's I'm fortunate to be in this time where I'm able to just present from where I am online. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and I will try to make the best use of the time that I'm given. So without further ado, with the topic, so I was very, very much thrilled when I learned about the topic of this year's National Nutrition Week, which is feeding smart right from the start. Because, of course, during the pandemic or even without that, I think that is one important point, one important topic that we as nutritionists need to think about all the time, because those early years as a child are the most important years to get good nutrition, to have a healthy and prosperous life in future. And when I was thinking of, okay, what to talk about, I thought, okay, role of parents might be something that not very well, talked about or focused on. So I thought I will just include that in my talk today as a part of this valedictory. So here you go. This is Feeding Smart from the Start, role of parents. And as Dr. Jyoti Paul already mentioned, I am Sri Lakshmi Devarakonda. I am a registered dietitian and doctoral candidate at Cornell University. So nourishing in the early years is the most important thing so that the person or the kid can flourish in the latter years. Foundation of an individual's health is laid in the early phases of life. And with good nutrition and good health, they can achieve a good height as kids as well as adults. So if you are fed well nutritious food as a kid, you can achieve both physical and mental wellness and very good height in future as an adult too. So before talking about the nutrition in childhood, we also need to know what is malnutrition in childhood and how parents play a role in treating this malnutrition as a community. Childhood malnutrition, and most of the audience here, you do know about this. I'm stating the obvious. Malnutrition means both undernutrition as well as overnutrition. I think for general public, most of the times malnutrition is only visible as undernutrition, but we really need to think about overnutrition as well with the economy growing at a rapid pace. So in malnutrition spectrum, in undernutrition, there is stunting and wasting, and in overnutrition, there is obesity. And all of these types of malnutrition have their own adverse effect on health in kids as well as in looking at the burden of malnutrition in the kids under the age of 5 in Asian and African children. I promise you, this is one of the very few statistic boring slides I have. We will talk about nutrition education later. So here, if you see, if you look at this slide, Asia and African children make up the major portion in all types of malnutrition, stunting, wasting, as well as overweight, which is really, really disturbing. So this has to be addressed. And despite the challenges, we have come a long way. India has made so much progress in the last 2 decades in improving the childhood malnutrition, but there is so much more to achieve, and we need to. In addition to that, just one more piece of information. 1 in 3 malnourished children in the world is an Indian, which is really disappointing. And adding to this, reducing malnutrition could add approximately 3% to India's GDP. Why? If you treat the malnutrition at those early stages, they can develop into productive adults, which these productive adults can increase the GDP by adding to the economy in many ways. Okay, I have been talking about adverse effects of malnutrition. What could they be? The children at the age below 5 years are rapidly growing. Their nutrition needs are very high. And the nutrition that we give them at that level, that increases the cognitive development. And with this improvement in the cognitive development with good nutrition, their mental development, their mental ability can be achieved at the right level. But if they're not given right amounts of macronutrients or micronutrients at that level, the potential to achieve the utmost mental development will be dampened. And then the kids might be prone to infections because their immune system will not develop as it's supposed to develop with malnutrition. And if the immune system is not good because of these infections, again, the mental development can be affected as well. So on the whole, this is affecting overall development. And with the overnutrition again, there might be a higher risk of non-communicable diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, chronic respiratory diseases, and cancer in the adulthood. So there are adverse effects to all these different types of malnutrition, as I'm saying. Then what are the factors that could impact childhood nutrition? I'm not going to read this entire slide. There are so many factors that we can actually go over, but when we are looking at childhood nutrition, I think we need to look at it as a systems view. There is no single factor that we can address that's going to debunk everything. It has to be seen at the big picture level. There are global factors, there are governmental factors. At the same time, there are individual level factors like their age, gender, and what is their socioeconomic status and everything, as well as community factors. So all of these factors need to be addressed. We can't just address one and think that, okay, we have done a great job. But today, I think I'm going to focus more at like socio-cultural, community, and individual level when I'm talking about parenthood. With this, especially at the governmental level, there are so many policies that are in place that can be utilized in the right way if we can think of strategies to look at it. And we need to go both the ways, like top-down approach, looking at the global view, and also bottom-up approach from individual level, involving and engaging all the individuals to address the childhood nutrition. As I was saying, yeah, government policies do exist. These are some of the policies that I was able to just pull from government websites that are currently being executed in India to eradicate childhood malnutrition. But are these policies enough? Not really, because I can just tell you one personal story that you may be able to relate to. There are these Anganwadis and Balwadis where we give a lot of supplemental food, right? The parents will get these supplemental foods. We really don't know if those parents are feeding their children with the food or entire family is feeding on that. But in my experience, there was once I was volunteering with a group and we were a part of one of these policies where we distributed a lot of supplemental foods to families, and we were all very proud of ourselves. Our entire team was like, okay, we did great. We gave these supplementary foods for a few months, I guess. And we were like, we will come back in a few months again and then see how they are doing. We'll just measure all of their, anemia level, the hemoglobin levels and everything. And we'll see if the malnutrition improved. Okay, we went home, we came back in a few months. And then we realized that, okay, they ran out of those supplementary foods that we gave them, and they just went back to their regular practice where they were just eating whatever is available. And even with the resources that were available, they would be able to make good meals, but they were not able to actually make good decisions because they were lacking nutritional education. And one of our mentors in our group, he stated one thing which really stuck to my mind, which was that we were actually trying to mop the floor while the tap is still open, which means we were trying to just treat the symptoms like, okay, there is malnutrition, give a shortcut, give some supplement. But we were not targeting the root cause of the problem, which is lack of nutritional education in the community, in the family, in mothers and fathers. So that's when we realized that, okay, educating the parents, educating the community is the most important thing, not just giving them any shortcuts like supplement or diet chart. Because as nutritionists, I think all of us realize that if you see any common man, like even if you attend a relative's party or anything, the first thing they ask you would be like, oh, can you give me a diet chart? I think now on, we should just tell them that, okay, I won't give you a diet chart, I will give you a nutrition evidence, because that is more important. If your diet chart, you're going to just trash it, it's not going to be that. Now going to parent role. So what is parents' role in children's nutrition? Of course, I think it's almost everything, right? Children cannot feed themselves. So parents have utmost power when it comes to children's diet. And that's why educating parents is really, really important. Parents play a pivotal role in the development of a child's food preferences. You can put excessive control over their diet. At the same time, you can't just leave them to whatever they want to eat, because they don't know what to eat at that age. Below 5 years of age, they really have no idea what food is good for their health. They might just reach out to a candy or something that's really sweet or salty. So we need to guide them in such a way that they know what to choose, but we should not force them. Because with excessive control, there are adverse effects as well. There have been a lot of research on this, and putting excessive control over a child's diet has been shown to increase the emotional eating behavior in children. What do I mean by emotional eating behavior? If the parents try to reward the kids good behavior by giving good food that they like, they are encouraging emotional eating behavior, because the kid may think, okay, if I impress my mother or father today, I'm going to get this food. And that encourages in their mind that doing good deeds will give you an opportunity to binge eat something that might not be really good for your health. So that's why I just had this meme here saying, oh, if you eat vegetables, I'll be pleased with you. So never say this to kids. So we need to encourage the parents to not use food as a reward. At the same time, you cannot take away the child's favorite food when they're not behaving the way you want them to behave. If you're taking away food from them, again, it'll be like forcing them to long for that food. And this is totally ruining their relationship with it. As parents, the parents need to really help the children develop a healthy relationship with it. And if they're pressuring the children to eat, they might just lose the ability to regulate on their own, their energy intake. A common practice in our households is the more the children eat, the healthier it is, which is arguable, because if you're just forcing the kid, they really don't know where to stop. They will only stop when the mother or father says, okay, now you're done. That's not how it should be. Their minds know what is good for them, their bodies know what is good for them. So the parents need to encourage the kids to realize and to observe those cues from their body. So when the child says, no, I'm done, maybe once or twice the parents can ask, or the caregivers can ask them to eat a little bit more, but they should not. And these are the things we need to inculcate in the parents' behaviors as well, because the parents may be worrying too much that, oh my God, my kid is not eating well, so they might force them to eat a lot instead of just stopping when the kid says no. And another personal experience that I can talk from is we had one patient in our pediatric rotation where the kid came with severe anemia. The severe anemia, his hemoglobin was 3 at that time, which was really alarming. We really didn't know what the reason was, and we were going into the history, the diet history, the parents' family history, and everything. And finally, we figured out that the mom was giving the kid only milk almost the entire time, because she was a working mom and the father was working too. They didn't have enough time. And milk is good. Obviously, milk is a good energy food. It has protein, it has all calcium and vitamin D. So it is good. So they thought, okay, the child has been drinking milk, pretty good. The child is healthy. Little did they know that it's lacking in many more other nutrients that it might need. So they were overfeeding the kid with milk, but they just assumed that it was healthy food. And that caused the kid to have severe anemia where he got admitted to a hospital. So these are the things that actually started bothering me in my head that, okay, parents need to be educated and about holistic nutrition. It's not just one magic food that is going to give everything. And nutrition awareness in parents is also important in a different way. So far I've been talking about, okay, when the food is available, how do you make your kids choose the right food? But even in the resource limited setting, even when the parents' economic status is not very good where they can get their hands on every single food variety, they can still make good, healthy meals for their children using the resources that are available. For example, chickpea. Chickpea flour has a lot of protein and fiber and carbohydrates, healthy carbohydrates. And they don't need to use costly olive oil to make food. They can use any cooking oil that is available to give them a mix of good fatty acids. So all of these, making a good combination of whatever resources that are available to them can only be taught through nutrition education. And if parents know all of these points, that's when they can make good choices for their children and they can teach their children to make good. So that is why we need to educate parents to improve the nutrition in children. And actions matter more than words, and we all know that. The children, they learn by seeing what their parents are doing, what the community is doing. If you just go tell a kid, oh, okay, you have to eat a lot of vegetables, and you yourself are picking up pizza or a candy or some junk food that or pani puri on the street, why would the kid listen to you? They won't listen to you. They will just imitate you. So we need to tell the parents that you need to set an example. If you want your kid to eat vegetables, fruits, which is healthy, you should set an example. Lead with an example. And then there are so many picky eaters in kids, and picky eating habit can be inborn. There is a genetic basis to picky eating or created, because when the parents do not eat certain types of foods, kids are also, they're growing to dislike those, which is bad. That is why the parents should develop a habit of trying each and every type of food that is available, seasonal fruits, seasonal vegetables, and any type of beans that they can get their hands on. All of these, they should try more variety so that the kids are more interested in trying the variety. So we as nutritionists always say, eat a rainbow. So what is eating a rainbow? Saying eat a rainbow is easy, but educating them on, okay, what is a rainbow? What colors are there? What each vegetable, what vegetables and what fruits can be included to make a rainbow on your plate? Educating them on all of these points is helpful so that they can educate their children as well. And then the parents matter-of-factly include foods again and again sometimes, and they should not force their kids, but they have to try, keep trying. Say, if a kid says no to a certain variety of food, maybe you should give them some time, but then eventually you should add it again and try again until the kid develops some level of excitement to try a new. And it's not just the mother's responsibility to take care of children's food needs or nutrition needs. while I was making this PowerPoint, I was trying to search for a photo or a clip art or some image. I was trying to include a picture where the father is feeding a kid. And unfortunately, I was not able to find one. And that was very annoying to me. It's culturally so prevalent, I think, around the globe that mother feeds. And I think at this time, in this generation, it's our responsibility to make the community more aware that, okay, it is not just mother's responsibility. The father has to be a part of it. Entire family has to be a part of bringing this kid up to the standard in terms of their nutritional. So let us take an oath on making the community aware that it's not just the mother, it's everyone in the family. As a matter of fact, everyone in the community should be responsible. And of course, child nutrition starts with mother, but not in terms of mother feeding the child, mother taking care of her health right from the beginning. You might have already heard about the first 1,000 days of life. What are the first 1,000 days of life? They are starting from the first day of pregnancy until the second birthday of the kid. These 1,000 days are the most important days in the life of a kid, because that's when the rapid growth is happening. That's when the rapid mental as well as physical growth is happening. So the nutrition that the mother's nutrition is at most important at this time in pregnancy and even pre-pregnancy, which means from adolescence, the women need to take care of their health and their nutritional status to give birth to a nice, healthy generation which is productive as adults. In mothers, the top some of the risk factors among top 5 risk factors of child malnutrition are short maternal stature, extreme poverty, poor dietary diversity, and mother's lack of education. So all of these can be eradicated if the women are educated. So women need to be educated both in literacy level, not just there, in health literacy as well, and nutrition. So if women know about nutrition, women know how important nutrition is in health, then the next generation will be healthy. And again, breastfeeding is important. Everyone says that exclusive breastfeeding in the first 6 months of a child's life is the most important thing. You have to breastfeed them. But I think there is a lot of practical issues with breastfeeding that need to be addressed, which is actually lacking in most of the regions. So breastfeeding practices, educating the mother about breastfeeding practices, and providing the required help at that time to support breastfeeding is also very important. So again, this is the responsibility, not just the. What can we do as nutritionists? I don't know how it is going to help, but I just wanted to ask you all, people in the audience, to just tell me what one word comes to your mind when you think of a nutritionist. As an example, I'll tell you, a nutritionist, I can think of diet counseling. That's the first word that comes to mind. Can someone just unmute yourself and tell me what you can think of?
Suggesting diet.
Great, suggesting diet. That's amazing. Any other responses?
Yes.
I'm not going to leave. Yeah, just tell me anything that you can think of when you think of a nutritionist or a dietitian.
Balanced diet.
Great, yes, balanced diet.
Balanced diet.
Mhm.
but
That
because
sounds
we
very
have poor
balanced.
nutrition knowledge. Lakshmi, this has not
Here's
we
an
have poor
opportunity
knowledge.
to educate people. All right. Yes, I won't waste more of your time. Thank you so much for whoever responded. Yeah, so we can think of so many things, but I think at one point we were actually looked at as food police. Okay, if you are attending a party, they would be like, "Oh my God, you're looking at my plate. I want to hide my plate from you because you are going to tell me something." So I think that is changing nowadays, and we are not just food police anymore. So I can think of many things when I think of a nutritionist. We are health coaches, we are holistic nutritionists, we are sports nutritionists, sports dietitians, community nutritionists, and thousand other things. We are here to educate people. We are here to counsel people about their lifestyle and dietary habits. So it's not just giving a chart with what to eat, what not to eat anymore. It's about counseling, it's about coaching them holistically to make them aware of the choices that they have and to make the people aware of their own life and lifestyle. And we, what else can we do? I think I know. I mean, our college is really really good with outreach programs and all, and I think I developed that mindset of going and volunteering in anything and everything that I can find only because I was at St. Teresa's College, thanks to all our professors and everyone who helped with outreach programs. But I think getting involved with outreach programs is really really important as people who are aware of education, some level of nutritional education. I think getting involved in any of NGO programs, and even it doesn't need to be a formal outreach program. You can just start educating people around you, your family. You see someone going for a wrong food choice, don't tell them, oh, don't eat that. It's bad. You can just educate them on, okay, eating this whole, okay, you're eating this, there is this 80-20 rule. 20% of the time you can cheat, you can indulge in whatever food you want, but 80% of the time go for fruits and vegetables and try to eat more healthy. Try to inculcate this behavior in them instead of just telling people what to eat. And there are other opportunities to get involved in community level surveys as well. These are some examples that I found. Akshaya Patra Foundation, Care India, the Hunger Project India, all of these are non-governmental, not-for-profit organizations. And nowadays, since everyone is able to be online, the world is the stage. You can just Google anything and you can get your hands on all of these resources. And you could probably invite them to come talk to your community or just collaborate with them and bring those programs to your community and help the children in need to improve their nutrition. So as an individual, you're trying to educate your neighbors, your community, and you're also, you can collaborate with these not-for-profit organizations and create more awareness around. This is a quote that I liked from Dr. Manmohan Singh, our former Prime Minister. He said, the health of our economy and society lies in the health of this generation. We cannot hope for a healthy future for our country with a large number of malnourished. That is so true. Our country has developed so much, but there is so much more room for improvement, and that is only possible if we can address this childhood malnutrition at its. And whoever said it, it's so well said. It takes a village to raise a child. I think at some level, the community has lost the sense of this. It takes a village to raise a child, but I think we need to inculcate this again and go back to this. And as a community, try and eradicate malnutrition from. Thank you very much. that's it for today. And this is my contact. That's my email address. Please feel free to email me with any questions or if I can help you in any way. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am. Thank you for your valuable information. It's quite enriching and more informative. I hope my friends have followed you, ma'am. We are fortunate to have our senior as our resource person. Now I request my friends to forward their questions.
Yeah. Shravani,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, can you share any few of your activities, outreach programs there in your university or at your place?
Sure, ma'am. Right now, currently, I'm doing my PhD, my PhD in molecular nutrition. So,
Okay.
in the last 1.5 year, or even 2 years, I would say, I haven't been able to do much of outreach, unfortunately. But before that, I used to volunteer in food banks, and we were given opportunities to um, even educate the high school students to get into science and nutrition. And we took that opportunity to actually create some fun games like separating protein from milk and just trying to educate these children in a way that they have fun while trying to separate protein from milk, but at the same time they're also learning that there's a lot of protein in milk, so
Okay.
that's why it's good for you. And then we did an experiment like using dyes to dye the starch in potatoes and take starchless vegetables and starchy vegetables, and they were trying to while they were trying to dye the starch in them, they were also able to learn what are starchy vegetables, non-starchy vegetables. And then we tried to educate them about those vegetables which are more healthy compared to starchy. So I think I was trying to take an opportunity where we were actually supposed to teach them science, but I included some of my nutrition knowledge in that to make them aware of nutrition. And we have a we have a program called Expand Your Horizons on our campus that helps us to just go reach out to some schools around here, teaching children about nutrition. So those are the kind of outreach programs that I did so far here. But when I was an intern back in 2017, I'm dating myself. I feel so old.
Okay.
As an intern, then we were able to actually organize outreach programs where we taught mothers and fathers how to read food labels.
Oh, good.
So on the food labels, there is a lot of useful information that's just going waste. So we tried to teach the food label information so that and the kids were so excited when they were able to just point out, okay, this has high protein. So we would teach them how to read it, and we would put 4 or 5 different types of food packages there. And the kids, oh my god, you can't believe how excited they get just by like pointing at, oh, this is high protein food. And that's really so satisfying for us.
Yeah. It's like fun for them, huh?
Yeah, it's fun for them and it's
Yeah.
thrilling for us as well.
Yeah.
And that rewarding feeling that, okay, you're making a difference in the
Yeah.
community.
Right. So it's a small, you make a big difference then.
And that is something I want all of the students here to know as well. I know our lecturers tell us this every single day, and I just want to, reiterate the same thing again. What you're studying now is really, really, really important. So study for the sake of learning and teaching it to the community and making a difference in the community. I think as we are studying, I don't think we realize, and once you put it in practice, that's when you realize, like, oh my God, this makes a lot of difference in the community.
Thank you, Shravani. Yeah, it's really very happy to know that little things what you have learned, you put it in practice, and that helps you to realize, what you have learned is something for good. So I hope your juniors will follow, and maybe because of the pandemic, we are not able to go for much of outreach programs. In fact, it's nil almost. So maybe in future we see for the better things in future after this pandemic. Okay. Yeah. Any more questions?
Yes, ma'am, I want to ask.
Yeah, please.
What kind of foods that we can give to children if they are excuse of foods?
Oh.
Could you repeat the question for me?
Yes, ma'am, I will. What kind of foods that we can give to children if they are excuse of foods?
Maybe if they are making excuses to eat food, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's actually a great question. You could get very creative. Like I think including more color in terms of fruits and vegetables is one way to make them interested, and you can actually make it a game for them to identify something and then make them do that. So just you can introduce some new vegetable or new fruit, like okay, if they have been eating potato for a very long time, bring carrots and bring green peas and just boil them and ask them to learn their names and then try to feed them that. Probably that might encourage them because they're learning something from just looking at that vegetable. So I think it depends on individual preferences as well. So making it interesting and making it a learning experience to them might help in terms of making them interested in eating that food as well. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, ma'am, it will. It answers. Thank you, ma'am, for your answer.
You're most welcome. Thanks for asking a question. And అందరూ ఎంబిఎన్ అని ఒక ప్రీఫిక్స్ పెట్టుకున్నారే, దట్ వెరీ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్.
They feel proud.
I'm a proud alumni of MBN. So ఆ ఎంబిఎన్ చూడగానే నాకు నా నాస్టాల్జియా గుర్తొస్తుంది. We used to just sit there saying MBN all the time.
Yeah, that still continues on the campus. Yeah. Still both. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So ZNCs and MBNs, they do compete with each other, but still being in the applied sciences.
That was always there, ma'am. Even when we were there, ZNCs were. We used to compete in nutrition classes.
Yeah. That's a healthy competition, in fact. Yeah.
We used to enjoy that. You can any questions? I mean, this is for students again, of course. Any questions you may have regarding nutrition education in the US? I can't talk about other countries, but at least in the US.
Dear friends, Sravani ma'am is here to discuss higher studies opportunities about nutrition in India and as well as in abroad for our career guidance.
Thank you, Nandini.
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am, which university is best to do MSc, ma'am?
So, in terms of MS, if you want to do masters, you have to decide whether you want to go into dietetics or just nutrition. So dietetics is a path where you have to take some required courses. In terms of university, there are university rankings and everything, but in my personal opinion, the ranking doesn't matter that much as long as it's a reasonably good university. Or some, not so good universities that I might not recommend. There are many great universities like Ivy League University, Columbia, Cornell University has a very good program where I am in. And also there are other universities in West Coast like Stanford, University of California, and many state universities. So there are number of universities that you can apply to and get into. So what you might want to consider is the location. Like, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to a place where there is a lot of snow, or a place where the weather is pretty much similar to India? Or if you have any relatives over there, you might want to decide the location first and then search for universities there and then look at the university ranking. And if you want my help with shortlisting the universities, I can totally help you with that. And there are also scholarships that you can apply. When I first started my master's here, I applied for a scholarship in India and I got it, and that helped me pay my tuition for some time when I came here first. And then eventually you can find funding as well. So I think the first is you need to decide which location you will be in, and then you can start searching.
Thank you for your valuable information, ma'am.
Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable information. Here I invite Navya, ma'am, to present.
One minute, Sharmila. No, are there any questions regarding your higher education opportunities, girls?
If you're feeling shy to ask now in the group, you can also email me later. And yeah, and if you want to personally talk to me, I can also provide my phone number to you.
Okay.
And also, please make sure you use that opportunity, because I'm here to answer any of your questions.
So, can you give the guidelines how you have entered into that university? Maybe that would help them, Sravani.
Sure, ma'am. Yeah, definitely. So, when I first started my journey to come to the US, I was not sure whether I wanted to go for a PhD because PhD was a big commitment. And one doubt I had in my head, which I highly recommend you to not have, is, am I enough? Will I be able to survive the educational system in America? Because I was like, oh, I'm from this small town. I don't know how to survive in an English speaking country. But none of it will stop you. And not even financial issues, because I applied for a scholarship and I took an education loan and came here. So that will not stop you either. So if you want to study abroad, not just in America, anywhere, first thing is you need to decide that you want to go for it. And I wrote GRE and TOEFL exams. GRE is it has mathematics and English. TOEFL is your English language test. So that needs some preparation. I think I prepared for at least 3 months before I gave these two exams, and I got my scores. And then I just shortlisted. I literally Googled like masters in nutrition in United States of America. I Googled, I got a big list of universities, and out of that, I chose some universities based on where I could have some support in terms of family. Like if I need someone, I wanted to have someone where I could at least go visit them. So that's my priority as well. So that's how I decided which states to go to and shortlisted the universities. And using my GRE and TOEFL scores, I applied. So for for application process, you need multiple different things. These two, GRE and total scores. And you will need a personal statement which talks about what was your experience, why are you applying to this university, and how will you add to their program. At the same time, how will their program help you improve in your career, progress in your career. So keeping in mind all of these, you need to write a personal statement. And I think that was the hardest thing for me, because you have to brag about yourself. You have to tell them that, oh, I have done this much, and this is my strength. So you really have to tell them what you're capable of. So you have to write this personalized statement. And then you need to get recommendation letters from your professors, your teachers, who can tell them that, okay, this student is, they have potential, and this student can learn, and they are determined to learn. So these recommendation letters matter a lot as well. So taking these recommendation letters from my professors and writing my personal statement, and with my scores, I applied to several universities, and I got admission in 2 universities. And out of 2, my choice was Case Western Reserve University, because of financial reasons. The fee was a little less and the living expenses were lower there. But turned out that university had a very good infrastructure and a great support. And in general, I think nutrition departments here have very good support systems. So that's great. And so that's how I applied for masters, because I ultimately wanted to do a PhD, but I wanted to test the waters first by doing a master's. And I did the master's, and having RD credentials here are very much valued. And that's why I did an internship. And you have to do an accredited internship to get a registered dietitian certification. So you do the internship and then write an exam and get registered dietitian certification. I did that. And then I applied to Cornell University for my PhD program. And I got in. And a lot of universities are even getting rid of GRE requirement at this point. So you can just find out on their websites. So you can look up the university websites and check whether or not they are requiring GRE score at this point. And yes, that's how I got into my PhD program here. And I'm definitely positive that working in India as a dietitian also helped me to get into these institutions, because that work experience is also valued very much. So if you are trying to work for 1 year and then go for study abroad, that is also really recommended, because that practical experience is valued a lot as well. Yeah, and try to volunteer anywhere you can. And extracurricular activities are also really looked at as very valuable things. And that credit also goes to our college, because it's only because I was in St. Teresa's College, I was able to do a lot of extracurricular activities. And that were also helpful, because you could express your leadership skills showing those extracurricular activities in your personal statement. So try to volunteer somewhere, try to work if you can, and try to participate in any extracurricular activities you can. All of these things will also help you to strengthen your application.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable information.
Yeah.
Now I invite Navya ma'am to present vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Uh, I take immense pleasure in proposing vote of thanks. I thank God Almighty for showering His blessings and making this event a success. I thank beloved Principal Dr. Sister Mareto Di Mello for her encouragement and support. Thank you, Sister. My sincere thanks to our resource person, Mrs. Sravani, for her valuable message and guidance. We thank her for sparing her valuable time for us and sharing her expertise with us. Thank you, madam. I take this opportunity to thank all the heads and staff for taking part in this event. Thank the department members, technicians, and all those who did the tasks. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. And my sincere thanks to Sister Marietta de Mello and Jyoti and everyone in the education department.
Thank you. Thank you, Shravani. It's a pleasure having you with us this day. In spite of your busy schedule, you made it that you are present here with us. And in fact, you are the brand ambassador of extracurricular activities in St. Teresa's, no?
And thanks to your encouragement.
Yeah, happy that you have participated and that's helped you to go for higher studies and higher opportunities. Thank you, Sravani. I think you are getting late for your work.
Ma'am, I have like 4 minutes more.
Good.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I still can't believe it's such a privilege to come back. I hope I actually did justify this time.
Yes, it's good. A very, very good presentation, in fact. Like a lot of information regarding how they can contribute to the society by educating people. That's more important. Not just getting a degree, but how you are useful or helpful to the society is more important. That's what I feel. Yeah. Can I ask Padmaja, Miss, like to say something?
Yes, miss. Yes, miss. Thank you. Sravani, so nice of you. You gave them a good talk about the theme of this nutrition week and also the complete career guidance, which they really need. And also just with your students, Sravani is a good example for her academics, excelling in her academics, in extracurricular activities. Everything she used to be there and she never neglected her education and she always used to stand first in education. That is a real example where we can feel very happy that the student from our hands is excelling this week. Thank you so much, Sravani. Really, I think Jyoti Miss and I, we were feeling so great to have students like you.
Sravani is our student.
Like you. Really, we were seeing ourselves in you today. How you were trained in the college.
Ma'am, seriously. Yeah. I used to miss a lot of classes and I remember bugging you all so much. And you supported me for everything.
Yeah, participating in such activities, NSS, NCC, all everything.
Yeah, too many.
Being the union president and all, and you were excelling equally good in the studies. I think that all had trained you a lot to excel like this in how we are today. Really, we are very, very proud to see you today. Such an excellent resource person.
Thank you, ma'am.
Out of India.
So humble.
So much.
Thank you. And it's so sweet.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you, madams and my dear friends, for participating in this Nutrition Week program. We are winding up. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Nandini and Sharmila. Wonderful hosting of the program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Have a good day. We wish you all the best in your PhD program. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm hoping to finish in 1 year.
Yeah, hope so. Yeah, you can do it. Sravani can do anything. Yeah?
We'll call you again as Dr. Sravani.
Yeah, yes. We
want to hear you from in another lecture as Dr. Sravani. Waiting for that.
Oh my God, ma'am, that sounds so good.
Yeah. It's really true.
Convey regards to your family members also.
Yeah.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Padmaja, ma'am. Thanks for being here despite traveling.
Yeah, they went to Vijayawada.
And reached Eluru, completely listening to you.
Okay, you reached already. Good
You
one.
made the day, ma'am. ఇంక ఈ రోజంతా నేను అలా క్లౌడ్ 9 లో ఎగురుతూ ఉంటాను.
Okay, we are there to hold you, no problem. Fly. Thank you,
Okay,
Sravani.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
Thank you
bye.
you.
very much, ma'am,
Bye.
for
Have a
having
good
me.
day. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Have
you
a
so
good week.
much. Have a good
Bye.
day.
Bye.
Stop చేయనా?
నీకు అడుగుతా లేదు నువ్వు వెళ్ళి తీసుకో